We've been discussing how social media can be a lucrative business, but is it one that's appropriate for a child? Do the benefits outweigh the risk? Licensed marriage and family therapist Keandra Jackson joins us now to add into the topic. And thanks for being here. What I would like to do first, if you're willing, is I want to give you the floor, Keandra, because obviously everyone acknowledges there are risks to a child getting started on social media. Even Gigi admitted that there are things you have to be very careful of. So can you kind of address their situation and also how a parent can make the right decision and be a good parent in the social media age?
The first thing that came to mind when they were speaking is that children don't typically have any agency. And so it's important to make sure that we have really good expectations for those children, right? Because they're inundated with fans and family and friends and all of that stuff. And oftentimes they're trying to maintain that status because there's somebody else who's going to come up along and just have just as many followers who may supersede them. So typically children don't have any agency, and we need to be more cautious about that.
You use the term agency, and tell everyone what you mean when you say agency.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a child, you don't necessarily have choices or, you know, the desire to have free will. You're kind of molded and shaped by your parents. And so that's what I mean by agency.
Kind of like Michael Jackson.
That's actually a really great example. And then the second thing that really came to mind was that typically the children are the breadwinners, right? They're bringing in the dough, the money, the moolah, the dinero, and that is perfectly fine. I'm all about that, right? But when you're a minor, guess who's taking care of the finances? Mom and dad, right?
So just out of curiosity, and then I want to hear additional points, how much money are we talking about? How lucrative is this in terms of being a social media influencer?
There are child influencers we know who are making well in excess of $100,000, $1 million. For us, I mean, she's a recording artist. She is an influencer as a byproduct of being a recording artist, but her earnings and that sort of thing all basically have to go back into the fact that she's got to make music videos. There's no living off of this, and frankly, what we have to spend, I have a 7-year-old at home, you know, dog sitters, nannies, travel. I mean, there's so much that goes into this that anybody that thinks that we are, you know, earning all this money or living off of it, it's just not even slightly.
It sounds like a stressful life to me.
Yeah.
It's highly stressful, and I do not want this for her. If she said today it's over, I would say thank the Lord. I want out of this.
It sounds incredibly stressful, and I can tell you unequivocally, Gigi, I would not have done well at your age. I did not put myself in front of a camera until I was well into my 30s, and even then I was a little overwhelmed by it. And I remember walking down the street the first time I was on TV, and everyone recognized me. I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. I can't even imagine being a youngster, and on top of it, driving this business.
Gigi, do you already have a contract with a recording studio?
Does she have a record deal?
Like, does she have a record deal? Or
No, not a record deal yet.
Yeah.
No, we have a contract with a management firm.
Got it. Because I'm just like, as a mom, I'm listening to you. So you're saying that you really wish she didn't do this.
Absolutely.
You're saying that it doesn't make as much money as everyone thinks. And it's enormously stressful for you. So why are you doing it? Like, then what fuels you?
Gigi's passion. She could offshoot in so many different areas, but we are giving her the tools that public school would not have necessarily set her up for.
Well, I hope nothing but the best for you, Gigi.
Thank you. That means so much.
Gigi,
And-
we
and I
help
think-
you with
Gigi,
my
you're
social
incredibly
media.
mature and poised. And
Thank
so
you.
She
I
is.
really appreciate
Really.
And as
it.
long as you always know that your self-worth has nothing to do with the number of followers that you have, trust me, you know, we've watched the paradigm shift from the first time we went on television. There was no social media when we started, and it has shifted. And you grew up in this world, but who you are, that's all that matters, because they always call it 15 seconds of fame. Sometimes people get 25 seconds, it goes away, then they get 10 more at some later point. So you focus on you, the talents that you have, who you are inside, and you're going to do just fine. Thank you both for being here. But there's another part of this that I want to continue to talk about a little bit is, you know, there's social media producing, there's social media consumption, and there are just as many issues with the consumption because every follower that Gigi has is likely a child. And the question is, for those parents, how do you manage that as well? There are just so many elements to social media and kids and when they should start using it. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back. Coming up, I disagree vehemently that a 3 or 4-year-old should be on social media, period.